Do you like your holiday family films all live-actioned up with unnecessary backstory, ugly prosthetics, racist and sexist jokes, overlong running time, and comedian Jim Carrey playing a shockingly unfunny version of his Ace Ventura character while buried under pounds of green latex? We got all that and much, much more with How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And before we Jingle Turds flush it, we're going to take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to Jingle Turds. December is our month-long celebration of some of the worst Christmas films ever made. I am Honor Knight, your head Santa Claus turd maker right here in the restroom. As always, I'm joined by my turd-making co-cinematic flushers, Cold Miser Colleen Griffin.
Ho, ho, ho.
And Heat Miser Nora Crest.
Merry Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa.
Also joining us as part of our co-flushing team this time out are the Low Score Boys from TortureVision's YouTube channel. Low Score essentially does for crappy video games what we do for crappy films right here in the restroom. Please welcome back hosts Brandan Haize and Anthony Dynar.
Hey, do we shake hands or do we just grab people by the pussy now? I don't know.
Oh, man.
Valid question.
Paul Hawkins' butler Jeeves has spent some time in our stall, and he has read the writing on the restroom wall regarding our first Jingle Turds of the month. Take it away, Jeeves.
Happy end of year festivities to you all. It's Jeeves here once more to talk about The Grinch. It's a comedy, for want of a better term, from 2000 starring Jim Carrey, covered in felt, Jeffrey Tambor, an uptight, arrogant prick who plays the mayor, several of Ron Howard's family members, and Bryce Dallas Howard in the enterprising role of Surprise 2. This film cost $123 million to make. I'll let that sink in. Despite this, it still almost tripled its budget at the box office. This is while maintaining a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, good luck flushing this festive turd. Give it an extra pull on the chain for me.
Instead of the usual film should have been called opener, we'll now hear a dramatic reading from SRC's own Grinch, Mr. Knight. Ahem. I do not like Ron Howard's Grinch. I do not like it at the movies. I do not like it on TV. I do not like it streaming online or on a DVD. This film is really crappy. A cinematic shart. That's why it's here in the restroom, where we'll flush it fart to fart. The end.
Oh,
that was
man. Have a happy Christmas.
Yeah. God bless us.
That was better than the film, I thought.
If your goal was to be better than the movie, you set the bar really, really low.
Is this a Christmas film or a Halloween film? It was hard to tell the difference.
Oh
my God.
Who is the target audience for this film?
That's a big
Target
question.
audience is people in my generation who love The Grinch Who Stole
No,
Christmas,
it is
the
not.
animated version.
I loved it.
No,
I
no,
loved
and
it.
They
No.
thought, oh, this is going to be good.
It's not true to the story
No.
all.
It deviates.
Well, here's
At
let me give you a tiny anecdote. When I was 7.5 years old, my very first play that I got a starring role in was actually The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and I auditioned against Justin Whalen, who we know from Dungeons and Dragons fame, and
Yes.
I actually beat him for the role of the Grinch.
In this show. In this,
Oh.
really?
It was a really big deal because he was a professional actor at the time. So
Whoa.
I will say that my play that our school put on with basically kindergartners through sixth graders was better than this movie, like 110%. My costume for the Grinch was thermal underwear that my mom dyed green. And of course, at the time, they didn't. This is like 1983.
Ooh.
They didn't really make like girls' thermal underwear, so they were like the guys' ones with like the underwear slot in the front and everything. But they were dyed green. They painted my hands and my face green and stuff, and I had a lot of fun.
Now I know why people commit suicide around the holidays. Oh,
God.
I haven't seen a Christmas film this bad, guys, since like Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is literally one of the worst Christmas films I have ever seen. I've seen some. We've flushed some winners.
Have you seen Ernest Saves Christmas?
No, no, because that's actually a pretty popular film. I gotta give Ernest a wide.
No, it's.
Next to this.
I didn't hate this as much as you guys hated
It
it.
is-
I didn't
liked it.
This is a
but
really
it
bad film.
It kept my attention.
But for the wrong reasons.
What bugged me was that they went so far off of the original
Oh,
story.
they go right.
I mean,
Well,
the
but-
original
now,
story
we'll talk
is
about
there.
that.
The
It is.
whole original Dr. Seuss is there, but then they had to add in for whatever reason. This
Yeah. Well, they had to
totally
pass.
fucking weird
yeah.
backstory.
We'll
It
talk
doesn't
about
make
it.
any
We'll talk
sense.
about it.
No, it was like the Grinch fucked Tim Burton. And this is the
Gentlemen, did this ruin your childhood? You guys are familiar. Obviously, you watched the cartoon, the 66 cartoon. Growing up.
I think part of the reason why it sucks so bad and goes into the question that you asked is like, who's the target audience for this? And that may be because it was released in 2000, and it was like kind of targeted for the past, because it was like Jim Carrey was like the shit in the 90s, and he just wasn't funny anymore, I
No.
guess. He does the same shtick every single time, and
We'll
it
talk
was
about them.
terrible to see again.
Well,
Plus, like you
he's-
said, they had to do this whole prequel thing in addition to the story
Yeah.
because
Right.
there wasn't
Yeah, I
enough
thought-
story to film. So, like, what they should have done is just made an anthology movie where they show, like, the first 20 minutes is the Grinch story, and then the next 20 minutes is Cat in the Hat or something like that.
Yeah, and then
there you go.
Horton Sees a Who or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah.
Horton hears a
yeah.
who.
Horton, Melissa, who?
Stop it.
Now in 2000, Anthony was what? Not born, and Brandon was 35, right? So this is about where you guys were.
This movie is old enough to have a driver's license, which I'm like, oh my god,
I'm just
I'm
saying.
so old. I'm so old.
Inside a Snowflake. I'm guessing Anthony Hopkins is second on the call list for movie narration after Morgan Freeman. Why didn't they just get Morgan Freeman? I thought he would have been a better choice.
Because Anthony Hopkins got it done in one day, son.
And
Did he
also,
really?
Yeah, he did. He
hates black-
recorded
Yeah.
his entire narration in one day.
What'd you say? What was the joke, Brandon?
I said this movie hates black people, so that's why he wasn't.
Oh,
There
all
was-
right. You might be right on that.
Throughout the whole movie,
There's no black
one
person in
black
this.
Who.
There
it
is?
was a cashier, and it was a cashier at a
Yeah.
store. Black Who Lives Matter.
All right. It wasn't like that midget one, was it? It wasn't Tony Cox, was it? Or was it
No,
another? Okay, all right.
no,
Was
it
there
was
a
a
full
regular
size?
subject.
He was the servant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, guys, why would you have the guy who played Hannibal Lecter narrate your children's film? That's like having Mr.
Well,
Rogers
you know what,
narrate a
there's
documentary on
trivia
Jim
point
Jones.
this. They were
Oh,
saying the
no.
casting of Anthony Hopkins as the narrator mirrors the casting of horror genre great Boris Karloff in the original
I
animated
see what
movie.
the- all right.
Because Hopkins previously had a
Oh.
career eating people's faces and their livers with fava beans. So
Yeah, but I don't agree
And
with
no,
that.
and he was doing the Boris Karloff accent.
I think he was just doing Odin from Thor. Yeah, at this point in his career.
I mean, Silence of the Who's.
Traveling inside the CGI snowflake made me momentarily think I was watching an Icelandic version of the X-Men. That's a deep reference. Only X-Men.
No,
All right.
I know, I get it.
All right, it's just not funny then. Okay, we'll keep moving. Also, if there's a creepy looking who. All right, try it again. Also, if there's creepy looking who's living inside snowflakes, I'm never going near cold weather again.
Well,
And
and
it's not.
yeah, it's not like supposed to be an in reference for Doctor Who, like a layered reference.
Is it
to
Doctor Who? Oh, I don't think.
I'm
No.
sorry. No, Horton Hears a Who.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
I think it's Horton here. Yeah,
No,
not Doctor Who.
Wishful thinking. I
Not
guess.
yeah, it would be awesome if it was Doctor Who, but I don't. There's no TARDIS in this at all, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A Ron Howard film because Brett Ratner was too busy doing hookers and cocaine. So there you go. That's
Oh.
Anybody could have directed this.
And there is your obligatory hookers and cocaine reference in the
For this-
Soiled Restroom Cinema.
Thanks, Griff, for keeping track of that. Why is there a creepy CGI Who inside that dude's horn around the 2-minute mark? Because the film opens inside of snowflakes, and now we're seeing the Who that you're familiar with the cartoon. This is a crowd scene. We get a lot of crowd scenes, guys. The whole film's pretty much a crowd
I
scene.
don't think they live inside a snowflake though.
In this film, yes, they do, but in real life, in the fucking cartoon, they don't. Okay, Chris, really? That's the point you're gonna bring up this early on? Like, I don't think they live inside. No shit, they don't live inside it. Nobody lives inside a snowflake. Come on.
Well, you don't know.
They miniaturize full-size people using like CGI technology from like a.
Using Rick Moranis. I don't know.
Yeah, it was Rick Moranis technology to shrink them down. It was creepy. Narrated by Anthony Hopkins. Duh. They should have just dug Boris Karloff up and made him do it again instead. I thought Hopkins' narration was pretty terrible for the most part. I think he kind of phoned it in. He really didn't phone it in. He said he did. Well, he did. He did it one day.
Didn't, because he tried to stay true to like Boris Karloff's original.
I don't think he did. I don't agree with that. I don't think he was anything.
You guys
like...
debate all you want.
What I'm impressed with is that there's,
really?
a few times during the film
Exactly.
that he and Jim Carrey interact with each other from the narrator.
I know,
and,
but that's
and
but that
despite
point...
that, he still recorded everything in one day. So that's just how great he is.
I have a lot of dick sucking
Well,
here for
no,
Anthony
yeah.
Hopkins. All right,
Right.
come
Anthony
on.
Hopkins happens to be a national,
Yeah, but he's done
international
shit.
treasure.
Not in this film though. I didn't think his narration was good.
He is a knight, Honor.
Okay, if you want to pull that Excalibur out of that rock, go ahead. You can. But the point is, he wasn't very good in this film. His narration wasn't great. All right, guys. This is what Christmas is all about. Creepy simian-type practical makeup on everyone's faces resembles an office Halloween party that went horribly wrong. Everyone looks like their noses got caught in a vacuum cleaner, too, when it was running. What is going on with the
we had
makeup,
some
guys?
Problems with that. The women, some of the women looked like monsters, and others looked perfectly normal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
was
the ones you were
weird.
supposed to think were hot were like just
Yeah.
human.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
the kids didn't have any makeup on at
No,
all.
because they
Oh,
explain
at
that
all.
later in the film. They explain
it's a
that right
puberty
towards the
thing.
end of the film that you
Yeah.
haven't grown into
Ew.
your nose.
Oh,
yet.
come on, really?
My God, it's like a Whoville, like Logan's Run. Like
What?
your life is over.
They all look like a white neighborhood version of the Planet of the Apes. You have to think about that one. You gotta think about that joke.
No, it does look like the makeup from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, he doesn't. That was what I was going
thought they
for.
just
All right.
resembled basically the
Woo!
last pick that Paul Ryan took of his congressional team with all the crazy.
All right, now we got
White
another. Here
Or
we go.
or Pence with his selfie stick.
There you go.
Actually, no. You know what I thought they had resembled? Like the women with the better makeup resembled Real Housewives.
Pro tip: what works in animation will not always translate to live action. This does not translate at all. You can draw who's, and Chuck Jones can do who's in the cartoon. It does not. This doesn't work at all. Didn't anybody realize during the makeup tests that this was not going to fly? $123 million budget, guys.
Apparently,
Come on.
Dr. Seuss's wife finally signed over the rights for a live action version on film when she saw a play production in San Diego. And I'm curious to know what they were doing in San Diego that made her think that this was somehow going to work. So did they start this weird prosthetic thing in the play or what? Like, I don't know. Because
It doesn't work though at all. It doesn't work on film at all. It's not even.
awful.
It's not lit well. It doesn't look natural on anybody's faces. It literally, it's
And
terrible.
not only that, they have the chiclets in for their teeth.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
Oh
yeah.
my God,
All
those
right.
were so bad.
I know. Screenplay by Jeffrey Price and Peter S. Seaman. Well, guess we now know who came all over this film. But I'm All right. That was good.
Disgusting.
Well, I'll take it where I can get it.
That's like the least offensive thing you could say about this.
Well, the Seaman guy wrote a lot of weird stuff.
Oh, did
I
he?
mean,
Oh no.
He wrote Trench Coat. I don't know what that is.
That was terrible.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, really?
Come on, that's
Really?
not weird.
That's a
No, I love
classic.
that
No,
movie.
it's a classic.
Yeah.
A couple episodes of
but
Tales
it's
from the
weird.
Crypt, Doc Hollywood,
That was
Wild Wild West.
Oh, that was
then
terrible.
this movie.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. How did he get
First one,
hired?
He wrote the screenplay for the video game also, by the way.
Oh, there you go, gentlemen.
And then-
You guys will have the
and
time
then
for them.
he wrote Last Holiday in 2006, and he wrote Shrek the Third.
Oh, Jesus.
That makes sense because the game on PlayStation is a fucking movie. It's not even
Oh,
a
okay.
game.
All right, and these guys will have their special episode tie-in when this bitch is released. So they want to get to know me, do they? No, actually we don't, Jim. Carrey can barely chunk out his pedophile voice through his 5 tons of prosthetics at the 6-minute mark. He's probably the worst. Well, maybe he's not the worst.
Well, he
looking
was
of the-
having a lot of anxiety. He actually had to see a CIA professional who coached people encounter
Oh.
torture techniques to not be freaked out inside of the prosthetics.
Oh my God!
'Cause he was having a really
he's
hard
in a
time.
full body makeup. We see the townsfolks, and then of course now the narration has to go up Mount Crumpet, and we get to this asshole in this off of makeup.
No. I like to call it Crump Tower.
Okay, we can go. We can go with Crump Tower. Thank you. Even the dog Max looks embarrassed to be in his turd. That poor dog didn't even want to be there. You see every look on his face. He was not happy. It looks like
There's a female dog playing Max, by the way.
Yeah,
Well,
and it could not have happened.
No,
nowadays.
it looks like they glued down her ears. The poor dog had to suffer through this movie.
Yeah, that fucking director in his
Oh, yeah.
commentary for the movie,
Oh,
he
you guys-
talked about how the dog had such beautiful acting over and over
What?
and over again. Like he was a goddamn Oscar winner.
Oh, the dog was terrible. The dog just didn't want to be. You can tell when dogs don't want to be there. He just wasn't game to do any of this stuff. Why did they get a CGI dog? I guess they couldn't do that. That would have been
They
funnier.
were originally going to do a CGI character,
should've.
and then they decided to do a regular. It's actually better that they did a regular dog.
I don't think so. I think that dog.
I think that dog was the best actor in the movie.
Did someone say Grinch? Jeffrey Tambor's makeup around the 8-minute mark is just one step away from his makeup job in Transparent.
Come on, this is 15 years ago.
He's warming up to it. And look where he is now. He won an Emmy or an Oscar or some bullshit. I don't know. He
An
won
Emmy.
something.
All
right, we'll give it to him.
He's been doing like.
Look, I love Jeffrey Tambor, and he's done amazing work in Transparent, but what the fuck is he doing in this film? This is somebody else in this film.
This is pre George Bluth.
All right, yeah.
Can I just say something? There's so many people in this movie. You got
shouldn't
Jeffrey
be here.
Tambor, Christine
Bill
Baranski,
Irwin.
Molly
Yeah.
Shannon.
Nobody's funny.
I mean, come on.
Not
you got
one person is
really
funny in
good-
this.
Well,
really good
but
people in here.
also like Jeffrey Tambor totally in that makeup totally looks like David Axelrod.
Yeah.
A little bit, he does actually.
No, he really does. Look at it more. He really does.
No, I thought he looked like Nigel Farage. I think he looked more like that guy.
Mm-mm.
Regardless, he shouldn't have been in here, but we get a lot of him too. He plays the mayor of Whoville, folks. If you're keeping track, if you remember the mayor of Whoville in the cartoon, which you don't, we get a fully fleshed out character and some crappy makeup. Stop it,
Because
Matt.
the mayor of Whoville had one line in the whole
I know. But now he's a whole
original
character.
Dr. Seuss. Yeah.
Stop it, Max. Get that out of your mouth. Nice to see the screenwriters honoring the late Dr. Seuss's wonderful prose. I think the Grinch was getting bit in the ass. At that
No,
point.
he was getting. Yeah, it was like, oh, a salad
12
tossing
minute-
joke. That's so great for kids.
Yeah.
This
well.
movie is so full of sexual references.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Thank
You're
you.
right,
It's
bro.
awful.
Thank you. It's not for kids.
And
This
you
is
want to
not
know
for
the
kids at
sad
all.
news? You want to know the sad news? They actually cut the super raunchy stuff.
What?
No.
Oh, man.
There was actually Jim Carrey was even upset about how raunchy it got.
They
And-
X'd out all the full penetration. What?
Yeah, how
First of all,
raunchy.
can I
Their
just say
nose is
something?
going up their
Grinch
ass.
is the only character who doesn't wear clothes the whole movie.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He's
You are
essentially
correct.
walking around nude.
Yeah,
His
that
genitals
bothered me
force
too.
everywhere.
And that
Yeah,
bugged the shit out of me.
Then
Me
it-
too. And I was like, he was born and was wearing clothes. And I'm sorry, you did not need to make nipples on his moves.
Right. So they introduce the town. We see the Grinch, and then there's a couple of these fucking teenage kids who belong to Bill Irwin and Cindy Lou Who's brothers who decided they want to go up and check out the Grinch's house. They go all the way up the mountain. This is not in the cartoon to try to scare him. The Grinch, scares the shit out of the kids. They go back down. Then he decides just to cause a little havoc down, in town. So he goes in disguise. He's like a Jedi. Throws his hood up and he runs down there.
It says that's like the worst Comic-Con Jedi costume.
It
I've
is a
ever
pretty
seen.
shitty Comic-Con. Yeah, you're exactly right. So he goes down there, and this is where we're getting the dog on the ass. We get a little salad tossing joke there, courtesy of Griff. I just noticed you're improperly packaged. Doesn't his Cindy Lou Who rap job count as some form of child abuse in Whoville? So they have a meet cute. Cindy Lou Who's not fazed by this guy at all. So she wants to be friends, and he just abuses her in the back room of a mail room, which that sounds worse than it actually was.
No, it was like some demented Charlie and the Chocolate Factory scene.
It's weird. It doesn't work. Again, it's not. We're getting the first taste of Carrey just trying to do anything inside this awful latex costume, and it's just not working. And right off the bat, that's the problem. Right off the bat, none of this is going to work for the next almost 2 hours, which I was really irritated about. This could have been an easily 90-minute film. It was way long.
No, it was only 14 minutes longer than 90 minutes.
Right.
So I thought it was going to be close to 2 hours. I was relieved to see 104 minutes.
I've never seen so many Christmas lights, Betty Lou. Well, at least this turd has one hot-looking Who. Just throw a bag over Christine Baranski's prosthetic face and have at it at the 15-minute mark. She was looking pretty good, except for that awful nose she had on her face. And she had the least amount of makeup. This is what you were talking about before, Anthony, or Brandon. One of you guys were talking about the fact that if you're super attractive, you got less makeup. Like Molly Shannon has fucking makeup. Yeah, but Christine Baranski just got the nose. And that might have been a contract thing. Like Christine Baranski's like, okay, I'll be in this, but I'm not wearing that full, vacuum cleaner nose on my face.
But come on, we're making a movie about the Grinch.
I know.
And everyone, it's the same race. Like it's
What race is that?
Whovian or what? I don't know.
No, that's Doctor Who. That's a different Whovian. Don't start.
Oh
don't,
yeah, Jesus
God,
Christ.
don't bring the nerds down on our show. We'll be off the air before you know it. Yeah, you start fucking up Doctor Who, and they get really crunchy about that. But yeah, that's what happened to her. She's the better looking, she's super attractive, and she's dressed like she's in a Playboy spread. Like most of her outfits are really form fitting.
Slutty.
Yeah.
I thought they were more like Betty Draper than necessarily.
There's little Betty Draper. You're right. Be it ever so horrible, there's no place like home. We'll now have to suffer through the next several agonizing minutes of Carrey desperately trying to make us laugh by having the Grinch give us a tour of his studio-built Grinch cave at the 21-minute mark. Man.
It was like the prequel to Hoarders.
I just didn't understand what everything that was in there, and then he kept it would be like, oh, now he's done, and then all of a sudden he's like zip lining across the thing.
Well, he's just doing anything. He's doing anything.
It's so weird.
Yeah, that's what happens when you give the actor the stage. This is what happens. You got to give Carrey this time to explore the set, like the cowbell thing from fucking SNL. You got to explore the space, with the cowbell. Same thing. They're just filming and in master shots anything he's doing, and then if it sticks, they'll cut in medium shots and close-ups later on. None of this works, though.
That's what Ron Howard said in the commentary. He's like, Jim Carrey just improvised this. He improvised this. It's like, did he follow the script ever?
I'm sure there was no script.
No. We heard about some stuff he improvised.
No, well, again, none of it works. But what are you gonna do? You got $123 million budget on the line, and a guy who's not funny in a green fucking outfit. I mean, you just gotta film shit and hope it cuts together at this point. There was a good reason the beloved cartoon was only 26 minutes in length. That was my bullet point on that. Because this scene goes on long. This is several minutes. It just didn't need to be there. This film just made you want to watch the original 26-minute cartoon instead. I don't understand why this even existed.
It was such a, it was like if somebody found the characters and threw them into an entirely different story. That's what this was. It was nothing like the original.
And they didn't learn their lesson from this. They let Jim Carrey shit all over the Grinch, and then they turned right around and let Mike Myers shit all over the Cat in the Hat a couple years later. I mean,
so that was an argument.
That's awful.
And I'm really awful.
Mike Myers fan, huge, and even
I
couldn't.
Oh man, he
Yeah,
was
that's
insufferable. You look like an idiot too, like two idiots in these costumes.
It was tough, and Brad and I were arguing about that a lot. It was like I was like, I can't believe he ruined this, and then Brad was like, well, it must have been successful, otherwise they wouldn't have done the Cat in the Hat because it's the same setup and delivery, I guess that's sort of true. It must have made financial sense. Did anyone look that up?
No. Well, Chris does all the deep research. I don't. Come on, I'm drinking. I don't. I can barely get through the show.
He's happy that he's can read his notes.
Yeah,
still.
I mean, I can barely do that on a weekly basis. Thank you, Chris, for pointing that out. There's nothing better than family around the holidays, folks.
That's right.
Tell me everything you know about the Grinch. So now we're going to stop the film cold. Here you go, Chris, to deliver a flashback story of the Grinch's origins. Did anyone really give a shit about where the Grinch came from?
Something? This is the most fucked up thing they actually added to the movie. You're flashing back to the Grinch. He's 8 years old. He's green. He's all fucked up looking. And of course, he's like the psychopath in the back of the classroom writing about, people dying and drawing weird
Yeah, I got a couple of notes. Right.
He gets, he gets the assignment that everyone has to give a gift to their special someone. And of course, young Martha May has given him sexy eyes from across the room. So he's going to make this beautiful thing. And I thought, here's this weirdo kid who's making something at home. He's got a home craft because he's poor, and he makes this thing. And then the guy who ends up being the mayor later, who's the school bully, tells him that there's no way he has a chance with her because he has a beard and he's 8. So he tries to shave, and of course he cuts his face all up. So every kid is laughing at him except for Martha May, and even the teacher is laughing at him. So then what happens? He runs away. Does anyone form a search party? Does anyone put his face on a milk carton?
Exactly.
The people who were raised we never saw him again. Oh well. P.S. We just let an 8-year-old fend for himself in the fucking snow and shit.
They had a party.
What kind of a message does this send to children? Well, if people laugh at you and they're assholes, just run away. And P.S. No one's gonna look for you.
No. Go ahead. You get your point.
Not only did they not look for him, they knew he was up there because there's a legend of an evil Grinch that lives on a mountain.
That guy, fuck that guy. He was a dick,
Yeah.
So the genesis is whose babies are delivered by umbrella and they just float down and you got a kid. Don't ask. We're not going to ask it, but he was one of these.
For some reason, he ended up with 2 biddies.
Right.
Now, is this because who's don't recognize lesbians? So
No,
it's just
they're
two
biddies.
old ladies living together.
Creepy animatronic baby Grinch resembles a mogwai with radiation poisoning. That's what the 25-minute mark.
Yeah, seriously.
That's a terrible animatronic.
Or
puppet.
like, Bride of Chucky and the Hulk had a baby together. I don't know.
But back up to, now he's discovered at this doorstep with these two biddies, and the line is, it was the morning before anyone, it was morning, they were having a party, these two biddies are having a party, and it said, and the line is, it was morning before anyone discovered he was out there because he's left at the doorstep. And I said, wait a minute, first of all, these Who's are holding a Christmas key party around the 26-minute mark, and raise your hand if you wanted to see more of that kinky Who sex. Like, where the hell was that footage? But apparently there was footage, right, guys, that was cut out.
I
so
guess.
So these lesbians were having a key party. And if you're from the 1970s, you know what a key party is. I don't need to explain it any further. If you don't, fucking Google it. You'll figure that shit out. I'm not going to explain it. I'm too old. So there you go with that. Fires of Love. Oh, boy. $10 says they crammed a midget into that mini-me version of the Grinch at the 28-minute mark. That was not a kid in that outfit. $10 said that was a little. I'm gonna go a little person.
Actually, yes, he was, and he died
Really?
2 years after filming the movie.
Man, talk
Yeah,
about
it's
bringing.
really sad.
Oh, you fucking buzzkilled that joke. Jeez.
Yeah, way to go on
Yeah.
her.
Well, why you Griffin ruined? I had a perfectly good joke, and she had to tell me he died. I was
Oh
there.
my God.
I was at the field goal.
No, actually,
Why
he
am I
ruined
getting-
it by dying.
Why am I? Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Fucking died and ruined your joke.
Wow, we got a lively holiday crowd tonight. Play Monkey. Large Stephen King clapping monkey toy around the 38-minute mark. Maybe the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in a children's film. That scared the shit out of me. That big fucking clapping monkey from Stephen King's Skeleton Crew. Yeah.
I was like,
Come
that's
on.
how I've been feeling this whole week.
And a monkey clapping with cymbals on your head.
I was like, oh, yes. Is that monkey for sale, like on eBay?
Yeah, he goes. Now the recap, the backstory. We have that flashback takes a long chunk of running time, folks, and now we're back to and we didn't need it. We don't care. We don't care where the Grinch came
Well, see,
from.
this is where they really veer
God.
off the script because in the original,
Really off.
it's just a legend. Nobody knows
Right.
how he got there. He's just always
And that's
been
why it
there.
should have remained it, though.
And
You
I
don't
like
need-
that
Right.
better than like a fucked up
course.
story where an 8-year-old runs away and no one cares.
The biggest way they deviated from the original is that, like, the Whoville citizens were not assholes. And they are
Oh, they
all
were super
assholes.
nice.
They are assholes.
Yeah.
in this
And
one.
they are all assholes.
I'm not scared. She's also not laughing because anything Carrie is doing in this scene isn't even remotely funny at the 40-minute mark. So Cindy Lou manages to find her way up to the mountain through the trash thing, which sucks her up into the mountain. I'm not going to even explain how the trash system works in Whoville. Doesn't matter. She ends up in the mountain.
Physics can't do it either. It's okay.
No, I know.
Oh, right?
I know,
Is
I
that
know.
bothering me?
Okay. So Carrie's trying to scare her off, but anything he's doing in that scene is not funny either. He's literally trying anything, and nothing is working. This is Jim Carrey. He did have a career. He was funny at one point, but by this film, man, it's hot air.
I think this is what broke him.
No,
It
Batman.
could have been
I
because
think
the
broke
movies
him.
after this are kind of not really anything.
Yeah, maybe
to write
Batman
home about.
broke him. Maybe Batman Forever broke him. That could've-
No, Batman Forever, he at least could listen to the awesome soundtrack and be like, at least I was a part of that.
She'll be on me like flat-faced fleas on a flugelhorse. If you listen closely, you can actually hear Dr. Seuss rolling over his grave.
Oh my
this
God,
line,
it's
43-minute
so
mark.
gross.
Yeah, this is one of those lines that got through. But Peter Seaman, who came all over his own script thing, and he wrote the greatest fucking movie ever. I know, it's a cheap joke, but this is what we got. This is what we got to deal with. Lines like
I
that.
don't know.
No,
I don't
no,
think there's any
actually,
way
the
for us
movie-
to
But-
class this up.
Well,
I mean, this
but I'm
movie is
saying
terrible.
it's not a children's film. That's not a children's film line, guys.
No, it's
That's-
not. No.
And exactly.
That's my
exactly what I
point.
thought the entire
This is-
time. I was like, Dr. Seuss books were all ages and not, like, even though they were for kids, they got through on
He
certain
didn't
levels
write
to
this,
adult books.
though.
But this is, like, gross.
This is like Anthony Dynar gross. This is like super fucked up, right?
Hey. Do not insult a guest like that.
Oh, they're family now. Hate to tell you. They
No,
passed,
no,
they passed the
I'm
point of
saying
guest.
No, Anthony is better than this
Oh,
movie.
yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. We'd like to think so. At least we like to. I know Brandon's a little better, but Anthony, the verdict's still out on that one. But yeah, stuff like that would jump out at you as I'm watching this. I'm like, that's not. I don't even know how that made it through the editing process. But again, you guys are saying, there's a chunk of stuff that was cut out. It's even worse. So go figure, right? It's not a dress. It's a kilt, sicko. First of all, why is he wearing a garter belt? And then right after I just talked about it, film suddenly becomes an Anthony Dynar fever dream around the 45-minute mark. What?
You know what?
What is he?
I'm actually surprised they didn't recreate recreate the Buffalo Bill tuxedo.
Well, why wasn't he just dressed like Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror? Like, if you're gonna go that far, he's in this what's he throw? He throws on it says it's a kilt. It's a slip is what he's wearing, and he takes it off and he's wearing a garter belt. Kids aren't gonna get that.
Carrey was actually a brilliant physical comedian in this movie.
No,
Yeah,
not in
there's
this
a lot
film.
of
No,
good
he's a
physical
good
comedy.
physical comedian. No, I don't think there's any good physical. That's my point. He's not funny at all, regardless of what he's trying to do. He is a good physical comedian. Not here, though. For some reason, it's just not working. I don't know if it's the suit he's wearing or the fact that it's a beloved children's cartoon and they really shouldn't have been touching it. If it was his own separate entity, maybe this would have worked. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is, and that's why as we're doing this, I'm trying to unravel what I've seen.
I think you're onto something because in the cartoon he was like dark and sort of creepy, like
He
Willy
wasn't
Wonka was in
slapsticky.
the original Charlie.
Yeah.
You're right, but
Exactly.
he wasn't slapsticky either.
Yeah, he wasn't
he
at
was a
all.
victim of circumstance.
And he wasn't
yeah.
Oscar the Grouch. Like, why is he rolling around in garbage?
No, and Cindy Lou Who wasn't like, this existential,
Oh, yeah.
it's somebody like a child in existential crisis.
It's like
my God. Like,
Yeah.
that's the most depressing part of this movie is that Cindy Lou Who is like a practically suicidal, like, child.
Cindy Lou Downer.
Oh, yeah.
That's cousin of Debbie
Yeah.
Downer. Yeah, right. Rachel Dratch should have just played Cindy Lou Who. That would have been awesome.
Oh,
Uh,
so many great.
That would have been great.
Hello, princess. The Grinch landing on Baranski's breasts around the 48-minute mark made me wonder if Russ Meyer, not Ron Howard, directed this film. That's an old. You gotta look up that reference,
Yeah.
folks.
Is this a John Waters film?
Yeah, no. All right, that's a funnier. That's a guy. Yeah, all right, Anthony knows that. reference.
If John Waters had done this, it would have actually been funny.
So
Yeah,
to recap
exactly.
the plot that doesn't exist in the cartoon, Cindy Lou Who, they're gonna announce in a big in the jubilation is Anthony's been going on way before we even started recording about this jubilation shit. They're gonna announce like the guy, the person who expresses Christmas the most, and there's a winner, and they get the stupid silver fucking trophy with the Christmas tree. I don't even know what that is. Everything's like Pier 1 import shit. That's where you find this crap. And as a result of that, she wants to nominate the Grinch. She goes up to the Grinch mountain, convinces the Grinch to come down and accept this award. And now he pops out of the trash compactor, which is physics fucked up. Somebody call that Tyson guy or Tyrese or whoever that guy is, that physics guy. And get
Neil
him to figure
deGrasse
Tyson.
Tyson.
Yeah, all right. With apologies to Mr. Tyson.
The physics guy.
Not
That's-
Tyson Chicken. Yeah,
He's
I'm sure.
he's
I'm sure-
an astrophysicist.
All right, I'm sure he'd love to unravel this. Anyway,
Honor
so,
doesn't know what that is.
when he, no clue what you're talking about, sir. He pops that boy. Can't wait for the new year. He pops out of the trash compactor. I know this much, and he lands flat on Christine Baranski's breasts. I'm sure she was really thrilled about that.
He's got his face planted in her breasts. He has no idea where he is, but yet he says, "Hello, Martha May."
Yeah. We should mention though, the Baranski's character has a hard-on for the Grinch. They were
Oh,
child.
she
Yeah,
is mad,
I don't
mad.
understand how. I guess women. Some women are. This is what they're into. But she's had a lifelong hard-on for this guy, and we'll see how this pays off shortly. Chariots of Fire race to the finish line gag around the 51-minute mark perfectly illustrates how lazy and desperate the screenwriters were to come up with 104 minutes of material from a cartoon that ran only 26 minutes. Boy, how many times have we seen that joke? 1983's
Many.
Vacation.
My estranged stepbrother and his wife actually came into the reception to Chariots of Fire.
Oh, jeez. It's at weddings too, really?
That's weird.
Burn, baby, burn. The Grinch setting the Christmas tree on fire perfectly represents what Christmas will be like under Donald Trump's administration. 56-minute mark.
No, it won't. It'll be the opposite. This is okay. You know what, Fox News? This is what a war on Christmas looks like.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, he really lights that up, doesn't he? Worse than the one in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That thing goes right up. He they give him the award, but they make him jump through a bunch of hoops. And that hoops includes parading him around like he's like a Jewish wife. Don't they do that in a Jewish wedding where they wear them around the seat?
They do it at bar mitzvahs
Thank
and
you.
bat mitzvahs.
All right,
too.
I'm a little off on that. I'm a little off on my Jewish history. Ron Howard should know better, right? And as a
No,
result of
actually, he's not Jewish.
okay, so somebody on this film was though. So they eat pudding. They make him eat pudding, and they make him eat fudge, and he has to judge all these contests, and he has to wear that stupid sweater, which was kind of funny. This Christmas thing that was marginally funny.
When he's being spoon-fed pudding by multiple Who's, one of the Who's feeds him the spoon and then says, "That wasn't pudding."
Wow.
Like I'm watching a prequel to the Human Centipede or
I I think it was Jell-O.
It looked like a combination of like oysters and kitty litter.
If one of our listeners out there is still living in their basement and has a lot of free time, they're unemployed, of course, please recut this film to an R-rated trailer. I would love to see, because this is where we're at. This is not that far off. I don't think the materials. Yeah, guys, we'll give you a special shout out and we'll pimp it on the show if you got enough time to do that. Have at it, because it really is. It went out there, like stuff like that got through production. It actually made the final edit. And Brandon it's not that hard to find. That stuff pops up. And you're pausing and you're going, what is going on here? Like, that's not cool. So anyway, there's this whole big sequence, and he calls bunk on it, basically, and then starts raising hell all through the town. He's like a one-man rage machine, which, they easily could just overwhelm him and stop this guy. But they let him, like, burn the Christmas tree down and destroy public property, and there's all this other crap he's doing before he goes back up to this fucking mountain.
He makes the mayor kiss his dog's butthole.
Oh, is that in this scene?
So gross.
It's coming up, though. I don't think that's quite this scene, but yeah, that's coming up.
Salads.
It's because I'm green, isn't it? And racist, apparently.
Oh, that was a great joke.
Yeah.
That was actually a great joke when the cab wouldn't pick him up, and he said it's because I'm
You
green.
thought that was
actually
great.
a great joke.
You thought, okay, that was the high form of art, comedy art for you.
You were just entertainment deprived.
Yeah, I
you
think
don't know at this point.
That was
what
the
funny
one
is.
joke in the movie.
How many beers was that, Griff, before you started laughing at that joke? Because I don't think it was that funny, but all right.
I was in my liberal elite bubble. Perrier.
Okay, all right, okay. Oh no, I'm speaking in rhymes. Great way to shit all over the original narrative, Ron Howard, the 1 hour mark. So now we're back to the story and the narration from, as you remember, from the classic cartoon. Hopkins is kicking it up, and this clown's got to. This is the point now. After an hour of running time, we're actually getting back to the original cartoon of him trying to stop Christmas by stealing everything. Okay, so he comes up with the plan to do that. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Iconic song takes so long to happen, I actually forgot it was part of the narrative. Jim Carrey, you are no Boris Karloff at the hour and 2 minute mark. That was a terrible rendition of the songs. And I made a mean joke about Down syndrome kids, which I guess I can't do because I'm gonna get blowback on that. But citing they could have done a better job. Who else was singing on that soundtrack beside him? Because he's not the only one singing that. There's some other voice there. I don't know if it was Mark Anthony, some pussy like that was fucking singing in the background. It was driving me crazy.
Okay, that's what you. Wow. Okay.
So yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry, but there was another.
No. I'm just interested that that's the first person you think of when you
No.
think of pussy.
Oh, ouch.
He doesn't get much of it anymore.
Ooh, but I'm bummed. That's tough for him tonight. Cresty, no? Did you look this up? You're the deep research girl.
I have no idea.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
falling down on this movie.
Too much eggnog. Too much eggnog. But
it's so terrible.
There is somebody else on that song singing that song with him in the background, which is anyway, guys. They really.
I'll try to figure it out.
All right, you work on that.
I'm looking.
I know it's probably not Mark Anthony. It's probably some other douchebag. Like what's his name? Ricky Martin, or just somebody like that. It's one of those.
I thought it was Bare Naked Ladies.
Maybe it's Josh Groban. I don't know.
Is it Josh Groban?
Josh Groban.
All these people will get plenty of.
I know. We're getting me a shout out.
Come on now.
What's your motivation? My motivation is to turn off this unfunny impression of Ron Howard directing at the hour and 7 minute mark. They really went really meta on that by letting Jim Carrey do Ron Howard. Remember he's doing that whole directing scene where he puts on the hat?
Actually, that was another improv thing, and Ron Howard liked it so much being made fun of that he kept it in the film.
When you guys listened to the commentary, was that what he said? Basically?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God damn it. That's not funny, guys. Is it funny?
Yeah, he was
No.
jerking off in front of us. Is what it felt like.
I know, no.
I bet Howard was when he saw that. Oh, I bet he was. This is awesome.
No, Ron Howard said multiple times in that commentary, like, this is hilarious, or that was hilarious.
Oh,
like,
come
he
on.
loved this movie. He
Yeah.
thought it was funny as hell.
Oh,
You're
boy.
kidding me. He's the only one. I'm going to throw up, and then we're going to die. Exactly how I felt watching this turd. Okay, so he comes up with it. We go through the Grinch song. He makes a little Grinch outfit. He sticks the antlers on the poor dog's head. We got to do that scene. He builds a sled, which is rocket powered, which is not in the cartoon. I'm going to let that slide for now because that thing is huge, by the way. It's like a big Studebaker or something. It's a huge fucking vehicle. Probably what, Dynar and Brandan drive around on a weekly basis out there. And,
I don't drive. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right.
I
You
get
guys
my
are.
permit next week.
Oh,
Though.
that's right. You guys aren't. All right. So your mom does. Your mom.
He has his own Uber, and,
Yeah.
and her name is Mom.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. So now they're going down to the Whoville to rob.
Can I say one thing about the music? Just because I just found something.
Here we
They
go.
actually released something later that was a Busta Rhymes Jim Carrey
I saw that.
collaboration.
What? Busta
I don't
Rhymes.
I don't think Busta Rhymes did it in the thing, but there's an actual video with Busta Rhymes singing, how the Grinch stole Christmas.
That was the
and,
last time. Last time Busta Rhymes was relevant. 2000. After he.
Excuse me, he was just on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
He was?
Last
Tribe,
week,
yeah,
last
with
week
Tribe,
with Tribe
yeah.
Called Quest.
Yeah, but he's
Oh,
just
SNL was
ever.
relevant?
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow. Yeah,
that's right.
guys.
Listen, kids, respect
Here.
our elders.
Mr. Dynar's an equal opportunity shitter. He'll shit on our show. He'll shit on their show. It doesn't matter. He's got the guy must be stopped at this point. Yeah, low score, guys. TortureVision. Check it out. The fake Santa Claus lied. The fake Santa Claus lied. How did Cindy Lou not recognize it was the Grinch, considering the insane amount of backstory has been dumped on us in the previous hour at the hour and 13-minute mark? So he comes down, and the first house he goes to is hers, and he's trying to steal the tree, and we got that classic scene from the cartoon. But she would have recognized him in a second. She just spent all this time with this guy. How did
Yeah,
she not?
could clearly see his fucking hands.
Yeah,
green
yeah.
and hairy.
Right, and
I
hear
know,
his
it-
voice. Come on, really? Like that? I gotta draw issue with that. 'cause
I know.
I know we have to
If it
include
was
the
like
whole...
the original story, nobody had seen the Grinch in years,
Right.
and it would have been an innocent mistake because
That's-
you know
yeah.
apparently she's
But
never
here-
seen Santa. But this is
But that
wrong.
goes right out the window
Stupid.
after you have, an hour and a half of backstory that you guys created, Seaman created, for this film. Ugh. Kiss me, you fool. Here you go, guys. Jeffrey Tambor kissing Max's ass around the hour and 60-minute mark illustrates how much ass kissing Ron Howard did to Jim Carrey while making this film.
Every time I saw that dog, I thought about the Sarah McLachlan song.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of tossing, a lot of salad tossing in this. Some not so cool. In fact, all of it in this film is really not so cool. I don't think I really cite, I don't know if they cut out the scenes that were cool. I don't know. It doesn't work, guys. It's not funny. It's like if Billy Bob Thornton's a bad Santa
I
character.
just feel bad for
directed this.
anyone who's listening who doesn't know what salad tossing is, and they're gonna Google that. later.
Yeah, no, Google
no,
it.
no,
Google-
actually-
Everybody knows,
actually,
Chris.
Google
Everybody
the
knows.
Chris Rock standard
Yeah,
version of
yeah,
it.
just
That will
Google that.
tell
You
you,
just
yeah,
Google-
Yeah, Chris Rock. I didn't think I'd have to explain that, but Google it.
I know for a fact there are people out there that don't know what that
Really?
means.
I think everybody knows what salad tossing means at
I
this
had to
point.
explain it to my mother.
That's your mom, though, dude.
My mom, you know why?
At
Because she
least-
went to see John Waters perform
I did
live.
too.
She went with her best friend to see John Waters, and he
Jesus
was talking
Christ.
about 20 things that I had to explain to both of them.
Oh.
In the 60s, no one did that. That's disgusting.
Well,
I said, you know.
okay, all right. Well, yeah.
According to my mother, free love did not include salad tossing in the 60s.
3,000 miles up the side of Mount Crumpety Road with his load to the tip top to dump it. This film was indeed one big load to dump out. There you go. It's a long way to go for that. So basically, he gets all their shit, takes it up the side of the mountain like you've seen in the fucking cartoon. The dog has to do most of the work at the back end of that. The dog wouldn't have been able to physically do that, but all right. We'll let that slide. That poor dog. Cindy, I hope you're very proud of what you've done. Cindy is a dick to classic Christmas cartoons.
No, Cindy got put in a horrible position. And
Why is she
Jeffrey
up
Campbell
there?
did.
Why is she? Oh, that's right, because he starts shaming her for fucking up Christmas, and then she goes up to the top of Mount Crumpet to help out the Grinch.
Well, no, it's not until she's publicly shamed in front of the
Yeah,
whole
she
town
is.
that her dad stands up for her.
Yeah, Bill Irwin finally grows a
Finally.
pair. Yeah, grows a pair and stands up for his own daughter. Molly Shannon, by the way, we should cite, she's in it, not so as you notice. She's never given anything funny to do, and she's in the background in most of the shots. It's a shame. Complete waste of talent for Molly
Hey,
Shannon.
guys,
She had like
yeah.
2 lines. in the
Yeah,
whole movie.
no, she's not given anything funny to do or interesting.
Is there anything on that on the Blu-ray, guys?
We didn't watch any deleted scenes, but
Yeah, come on, don't get-
maybe
come
they
on.
weren't added onto the Blu-ray because they were all NC-17.
That's a very good
The
point.
movie's
sir.
long enough, and then we
Yeah.
did the commentary. I think I did my dues.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
and you
saying,
played
was
a
there
video
anything on
game.
her, but okay. So what you're telling me is that she tossed some salads on set. Okay.
A lot of salad toss on this shoot, guys. Max, help me. I'm feeling. Carrey acts like he's having a stroke around the hour and 25-minute mark, which is about as funny as anything else he's done in this herd.
No, it looks like he's got like a heart boner.
Yeah, yeah, he does have a heart boner because there's a bad prosthetic of that shooting out of his chest.
My heart was born on the outside of my body.
Okay, all right. And I'm leaking. Likewise, Jim, likewise. We all were leaking at watching this terrible, terrible film. So he gets his heart back.
Really? What part made you leak?
Well, that's... Again, if you saw the NC-17 version, that's a whole different movie right there, right,
Oh,
guys?
man.
So,
I hope there is not a cut like that.
oh, I think there is, Chris. I think
But
there
have
is.
you?
Now I
Like,
gotta
can I just?
find
Have
it.
you seen an NC-17 movie? Have you ever gone into one?
Yeah, hello. I'm like 200 years old.
No,
Yes, I've
but
seen-
that's not has nothing to do with anything how old you are or not. I mean that.
Back in my day, movies weren't even rated. We didn't know what we were seeing. We brought the kids.
But I'm saying
That's when
NC-17
America was
is
great, I
far
guess.
from it.
That was
Yeah.
that's hopefully we'll get back to that. We'll get rid of the rating system. No one should be alone on Christmas. Carrie's creeper stare at Cindy Lou around the hour and 29-minute mark made me think he was going to molest her once he got that sled sorted out.
Yeah, it wasn't just me. Yeah.
Okay, all right. See, isn't that weird? That eyeball thing, that stare he was giving. I'm like, ooh, this again, NC-17 version guy. There's another version of this film somewhere.
No,
And you know who has
that's-
it?
No, that's like the Nick Cage version from that movie.
This
like
is-
that movie he did about like snuff films.
It's when the Illuminati
35
have their
millimeter.
Christmas Eyes Wide Shut party. That's when they showed this version of the film, the NC-17 version. I'm the Grinch that stole Christmas, as if we really need to be reminded of the title at this point. So he gets his heart back. He takes all the shit back down. You see in the cartoon, folks. He gets down there and starts throwing shit back out. He doesn't get... Some guy tries to arrest him. He doesn't get arrested, but that doesn't work.
No, because he said he was sorry.
So he gets the girl, guys, and my heart belongs to someone else. Baranski, who is going to fuck the Grinch. Let that sink into your holiday spirit for a moment, guys. The hour 35-minute mark. That's probably the most frightening thing I think I can take away this film. That this Whoville is gonna sleep with this disgusting.
And they did
Grinch.
reverse sexism casting because
that what it is?
Christine Baranski is 10 years older than Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
So
Really?
And even if she was hot for him when they were kids, he's now grown up very disgusting, and he
He-
smells like garbage.
Yeah,
and
he has
toxic
termites
waste.
in his teeth.
That's a 50 Shades of Grey. I would want to
50 Shades of Grinch. I think we can make that happen.
Wow, my porn library
Yes.
sure extended a lot by listening
Yeah.
to this podcast.
You're right.
Anthony is furiously dig.
Oh, he's writing all this
Googling
stuff down. He's got
tossing
yeah.
salads.
He's gonna be on. He's gonna be on.
Oh
porn.
yeah, he's furiously doing something right
He
now.
cannot wait to get on. He can't wait to get on Cinematic Pornhub later. Man, oh man, this is literally one of the worst Christmas or holiday films. And the worst part about this, guys, at Universal Studios, I guess they're doing it in Hollywood, but here in Orlando, they have a whole Grinch celebration every year around the holidays based on this movie. They've got a guy walking around as Jim Carrey as the Grinch. Like making fun.
Really?
Yeah, no bullshit. It's crazy. And they got who's walking around. There's people walking around in this makeup every year at the theme park.
Okay.
In fact, I'm not lying. It's really it's about as creepy as watching this fucking movie. You get to see it in real life.
I actually have like stuffed animals of the Grinch and Max, and I love them, but I kind of want to get rid of them.
Yeah, you want to burn them. You gotta throw them right out to the
No
backyard
one
and
will
just
go
burn them.
looking for him.
I'm about to do an old Yeller with Max.
Oh, put a bum. This is not a children's film at all. I don't know why children. It's PG-13 and that's what it was rated. I think it probably it deserved this rating. Why would parents showing these kids, and why are they taking them to Universal Studios in Orlando to see these characters in real life? I didn't realize how bad it was until I saw this film. Man, oh man, I guess I'll get.
No, it makes me a lot less critical of Tim Burton children's movies.
Yeah, well, that's a different kind of aesthetic, and that's funnier, and it kind of works. Here, it's just all the production design is ugly, the makeup is ugly. Like nothing, they must have known that nothing was going to work here, and at that point, they're into it. The contracts are signed, and we got to roll. You know, we already spent $123 million. We got to shoot something, and this is it, guys. Clint Howard's in it, folks. If you remember, we flushed Clint Howard numerous times. Of course, he's Ron
He
Howard's
just
brother.
lives in the bowl.
Yeah, Clint Howard pretty much lives with us.
No, he's the restroom attendant.
Yeah, he would be. He'd be an awesome attendant. But man, this is hard. So would you let your kids watch this, Crest?
No, I hate this. I
It
just let
is.
them watch the cartoon.
Yeah, that's fine,
I don't let
guys.
them
Watch.
watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, we go watch. Yeah, and we're sorry the first Jingle Turds of the month is such a downer, but there you go. Wow, there you go. Oh my
There's
god.
nothing on the credits.
Oh god, I didn't expect anything except that, and we never found out the name of that Mark Anthony's duet with Jim Carrey. But you guys can look that shit up if you
Well,
really
you're just
want
gonna
to.
Name random singers now.
At this point, who cares?
Why does it have to be a Spanish singer? Why are
Well,
you picking on Latin singers?
Maybe it was. I said Jock
Well,
Groban. He's
no.
not Spanish, right?
Well, what I found out was like, oh, they said he sang it live. He sang parts of it live.
He did with no accompaniment.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, folks, there you go. That is How the Grinch Stole Christmas for our very first Jingle Turds of the month. We took it out and played with it a lot longer than we should have. Can we flush it, ladies and gentlemen? Can we please flush it?
Flush it down with no physics involved.
Okay, all right. We'll slide into the ending with that one. Consider it flushed. There you go, folks. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest Movie Mode, Colleen Griffin, and Raging Buddha Beam Movie Queen Nora Crest. Great job as always. Thank our extended co-flushers this time out, Brandan Haize and Anthony Dynar, the Low Score Boys from Torture Vision's YouTube channel. Great job, guys. We're sorry to ruin your holiday pretty much.
What's family for?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, plenty of salad to go around. So, yeah. Make sure you check those stockings, guys. But we do appreciate it. And folks, they're gonna have their video game review of this fucking movie. Believe it or not, there was a video game tie-in on their own Torture Vision channel. So make sure you check that out. We'll be tweeting it out and giving you links to that as well. Hopefully, I'm saying that now. If nothing shows up, well, these guys will not be back in the new year. That's for damn sure.
If that's all we have to do to not come back.
They're like done and done.
We're going to be back with you to torture you with something else. It'll be our next Jingle Turds in a month. Until then, say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Hey, this is Honor Knight, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the Restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so you don't miss a single episode. You can also follow us on Twitter and use the hashtag PodernFamily. Like us on Facebook, circle us up on Google+, and check out all of our episodes at our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I am Honor Knight, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.